Hello, my fellow Retrotopians, and welcome to episode number 106 of the Retrotopia podcast, where we are talking F.E.A.R. That's F.E.A.R. First Encounter Assault Recon. We talked about how hard it can be to find this game on Steam because you have to type in the stupid dots. They're called periods. You have to type in the periods when you search the game, or you can't find it. But before we get into that, let's go over quickly where you can find us. Linktree/Retrotopia. You can find our social medias, our Discord, and our numbers are up. So if you're new listening and you haven't joined our Discord, it's free. You should do so. There's, I believe, a link in the description of this podcast. And if there's not, there's ways to reach out to us and find it. Speaking of ways to reach out to us, you can join our Patreon. There is a free tier, so you can join it for free, see if you like it. There is also a paid tier where there's some extra goodies there for you. And merch page. That's all in the link tree. So the merch is cool. Get some. If you're new, welcome to the show. If you're really, really antsy for F.E.A.R, you can skip ahead. But the intro is fun. Stick around for the intro, which we start off with our listener comments, the 9-bit banter box, which is culturally elegant. First comment comes from Blue Yoshi, who says, Sam, you get to pick both a video game thing and a real life thing to make cheese, and you can eat it. What are you choosing? Alright, so what am I turning into cheese? For a video game, I'm not a Minecraft player, but I think the Minecraft blocks, you know how you excavate in Minecraft and those little cubes fly out? I guess they're supposed to be like simulated pixels, but like those little Minecraft pixels, whenever you excavate a bunch of those, they would just like pop out of your console as like little cheese cubes. That'd be awesome. In real life, dog poop. Dog poop is useless, and you have to pick it up. If my dog pooped and it was just cheese, I would just have cheese. So I would choose dog poop. All right. Thank you for the comment. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious says, as a kid, I couldn't play scary games. My Dreamcast came with Resident Evil Code Veronica. I literally played it only once and never touched it again. Many years later, I'm considering to give the genre another try. What game would you recommend to get into the genre? I'm not like the biggest horror game player, but I've played a few now. Yeah, I'd say I've got a good solid few under my belt. Yeah, if you don't mind the controls, I thought Resident Evil was really fun. So like if you wouldn't mind going back into the Resident Evil universe, I mean, I don't think Resident Evil 1 is too scary. There's a couple things that like just build the tension, but not, I mean, like the zombies are pretty slow. So I guess most of the scariness comes from like a zombie slowly walking towards you while you try to fucking figure out how to raise your gun and shoot. But yeah, Resident Evil 1, that's a good one. The original. If you want something that's mostly harmless and not gory at all, and is, I mean, aside from the fact that it's creepy, it's like pretty kid friendly, is My Friendly Neighborhood. I've been I got to get back to that one. I never finished it, but it's like I guess like a first person Resident Evil style game, but it's all like Sesame Street style puppets that have like gone nuts, and you're like a repairman who's been sent to this old TV set that's just full of like deranged puppets, and it's fine. There's no blood. It's not really actually scary. It's just, it'd be more like jump scares and stuff, and it's just kind of a goofy setting that's very Sesame Street inspired. I'd also say Five Nights at Freddy's. It's pretty low time commitment, and I think it's probably pretty cheap to pick up just on its own. It's great for jump scares, and it's like just like My Friendly Neighborhood. It's not actually gory. It's just they do jump scares really well and build tension. Other than that, yeah, F.E.A.R wasn't too bad actually. But F.E.A.R is more of a shooter. I mean, I think people think it's scary. I didn't think it was all that scary. If you don't do scary, maybe it's not a good place to start. But if you like FPS games, it's actually a pretty competent shooter. So yeah, those would be my suggestions. Big Deal says, if your spirit animal is the beagle, what animal or breed of dog are the rest of your Retrotopia co-hosts? Brian's a chocolate lab. Alan probably is actually a cat, but he might be considering getting a beagle, but I didn't tell you. So let's convince him to get a beagle. And then Joe, we'll throw Joe in here too. He's a Chihuahua or like some sort of little yippy dog, I think. I think we would all agree, even Joe. All right, thanks. Sorry, Joe. All right, Huli the Hunter says, the fall leaves are out and it's gorgeous here in Michigan. What's something you find beautiful on this amazing planet we live on? Besides Alan, of course. Yes, that is true. The city at night, I think. We were at a concert over the weekend, and like driving home up from the south over the Hone Bridge, you can see Milwaukee, and you see the whole city lit up, the downtown and the lake and everything. That's a pretty cool sight. I always like driving over that bridge because it kind of gets you some elevation and you can kind of see the whole city. That's a neat sight. Otherwise, man, I would say like most natural sights are pretty cool, but I really like old and ancient stuff, like old ruins and stuff, even like old barns, like just old stuff. I like old stuff. There's not a lot of it here. I mean, there's old barns and shit, but like, I guess I've been pretty fortunate enough to travel to some places around the world and see a couple things. So, I mean, like old churches, old cathedrals, old castles, old Roman ruins. That's all cool shit. So I really like that stuff and I appreciate it when I can see it. All right. Next comes from Brother Retro, who says, Sam Alama Ding Dong, let's talk some puck. I'm about to go to my first NHL game with my wife this week, and I'm curious, what is your favorite hockey experience or any specific memories stand out? Keep up the great work and go Flyers. Thank you. I will allow go Flyers here. I do enjoy Gritty quite a bit, but also that Zegras Drysdale combination. You got a couple of good players there. So hopefully Zegras shows you some flash because he's a fun player to watch. Gonna miss him. Already miss him because the Ducks are playing, but they're actually doing okay. I'd say watching the Ducks win the Cup in 06 was pretty neat, but that was on TV, so that's not a live experience. And it's been slim pickings in Ducks land for a few years. I've only been to one NHL game, and we have an AHL team here in town, but my favorite live hockey memories are Badger games. So we went to, let's see, the 2010 Winter Classic. That was cool. That was like God, I can't talk. The Winter Classic, like they have those outdoor games in the NHL. They do them in college too. So we went and saw Wisconsin play Michigan, I believe it was, at Camp Randall Stadium. That was pretty cool. It was cold as shit. That, and one time that same year, I think it was 2010, a buddy of mine and I went to Detroit to see the Badgers play in the Frozen Four. That was cool. That was at Ford Field in Detroit. They played really bad in the championship game. They got their ass kicked by BC. So that sucked. But the first game was fun, and we got to see Blake Jeffrey win the Hobie Baker, which was like there was like an awards ceremony that we went to, and we got to see him win the best player in college hockey, basically. That was pretty cool. So I think those would be mine. Hopefully many more in the future. But thanks for the question. All right, last one comes from Fill Up My Mouth with Farts, who says, Sam, hope all is well. It is, thank you. Do you have an I just don't know what to play game? Something you play when you're in a gaming slump just to take your mind off things before you decide on a new game or starting a long game you've already played? Oh man, lately I've been pretty bad just kind of trying to stick to the schedule. I've been pretty bad for like immediately starting the next game. For better or worse. Otherwise, sometimes I'll I guess like before the podcast, we'll go back to the before times. If I was between games, if I just finished a long game, and sometimes you finish a game that you've been playing for a long time, but you just have to like beat the last, like you sit down for your gaming session that night. It's like, you just have to fight the final boss and watch the end cutscene. It's like, well, the game is done now. So now what do? I've allocated more time to play games. Now what do? In those situations, I would fire up like the Switch Online or pull out like a collection and either play something that I know is short and that I've played a bunch, like a Super Mario Brothers or Super Mario 2 or Sonic or something like that, like a platformer, short platformer. Or I'll like fuck around with something I've never played before. I think that's kind of how I discovered Solomon's Key. That's a cool game. Or what is it? Adventures of Lololo or something like that. That's like the, I think HAL Laboratories made. It's like very Kirby looking, but it's like a puzzle game, kind of like Solomon's Key. You have to like do a certain sequence of things and then make it to the end of the stage or whatever, like a puzzle solving thing. Those are cool games. So like games like that are kind of fun, or like those endless ones like Slay the Spire or whatever, or Balatro. I played a little bit of that when I was between games not too long ago. It was okay. Yeah, otherwise, like sometimes to be honest, I just turn off gaming. If I just finished something long, or I'm kind of between something, or something was frustrating me but I finally finished it, I might just like cool off with something else for a few days, like read a book or watch a show or do something else for a bit. But yeah, those are all my options. I guess like I shot the gamut from like I go right into my next game. I could maybe play a short game that I know or don't know, or I could do something else. That's like pretty much almost all of the options. So I mix and match. But thanks for all the questions. Next, we are going to play our hit game, Choose One, Lose One.
Ladies and gentlemen, roll up and choose your power-up from the game of the week. You pick a power, we pick a consequence. It's Choose One, Lose One, the game where everyone's a loser.
Now I left time for what I assume is a bumper that tells you how the game works, so I don't have to. All right, our first Choose One, Lose One comes from Huli the Hunter, who says, I want the ability not to shit my pants and run away in fear when a terrifying ghost creature confronts me. You don't want to run, you say? Well, now you're paralyzed. You can't move at all. And you peed yourself instead. So it's still unpleasant. All right, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious says, I haven't played this game, but I hear there's a girl in red. Sounds nice to meet her. Is she like the woman in red in The Matrix? No. She is more like the woman in red in Carrie. And now she's your new girlfriend. Have fun. She's creepy. All right. Brother Retro says, give me that slow-mo ability. I'd be the most efficient delivery driver on the road. Well, Brother Retro, that's a great thought, but what they forgot to tell you is that you're not actually slowing everything down, you're just going really slow, and now you've missed all your on-time deliveries. All right, thanks everyone. That was Choose One, Lose One, and now we will turn it over to Alan for the gentleman's interlude.
They call me Paxton Fettle. But names are meaningless now. Mere vibrations in a world humming with whispers and blood. I was born in a place where science gropes at godhood, where minds are dissected and stitched back together in pursuit of control. They built me to command, to reach into other skulls and pull their strings like marionettes. But something deeper stirs within me. Something ancient, patient, and furious. The corridors hum with electricity. Lights flicker in fear, as though the building itself knows what walks within it. My soldiers obey without question. An army of reflections, puppets bound to my will. Yet even they cannot shield me from the echoes that crawl along the walls. Voices slither through the vents. The air tastes of metal and regret. Something unseen watches from the corner of every room. I can feel it now. The slow pulse of another presence. A force buried beneath the concrete and steel. It's not human. Not entirely. It calls to me through dreams and data streams, through the trembling silence between heartbeats. The closer I draw to it, the thinner the veil of reality becomes. This world is full of ghosts, though most wear human faces. The soldiers of F.E.A.R, the first Encounter Assault Recon, have come to hunt me, to cleanse the rot they don't understand. They carry their weapons and their courage. But courage is brittle when the lights go out. Developed by Monolith Productions and released in October 2005 through Vivendi Universal and F.E.A.R Entertainment. Fear is no ordinary mission. It is an awakening, an intersection of bullets and nightmares, of memory and madness. And as I move through the dark, I wonder who truly hunts whom when the shadows themselves are alive.
All right, thanks, Alan, for that gentleman's interlude. And now, comments on our game of the week from the community. We had one this week, just one. So maybe not that many people played F.E.A.R, but maybe we can convince you to play F.E.A.R. All right, Brother Retro said, I watched a buddy play this game back in the day, and I know I will never play it myself. I just can't do spooky, and buddy, this one is spooky. Can't wait to hear your thoughts, though. Thanks, Brother Retro. I didn't find this game all that spooky. I thought it was more of a shooter, and like shooters kind of freak me out anyways, because I'm always like, I'm jumpy. Like I'd be so terrible at war. Yeah. So I think I get freaked out more than with that, like enemies are coming and are going to come shoot me or shoot me from, flank me and shoot me from some direction I'm not expecting than some creepy little ghost girl. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. You'll hear our thoughts because we're going to talk about it. F.E.A.R, released in 2005, developed by Monolith and published by Vivendi Universal Games, which was Sierra Online. Remember that name? And also the online was done by GameSpy. Remember that name too? That was a throwback when I saw that like title card pop up. Pretty cool stuff. It was released on PC first, then Xbox 360, PS3. I played it on the PC. All right, everyone, let's start the show. All right, everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Retrotopia, where we are talking about F.E.A.R, and it's F.E.A.R, F.E.A.R. Don't look it up as F.E.A.R, or you won't find it like I did. I had trouble finding this game, actually, because I just typed in the word F.E.A.R, and it wouldn't fucking come up. Anyways, with me is Brian,
Yay.
And Alan.
Ooh.
Hey, you son of a bitch.
Special operatives that we are. How you doing, fellas?
Yeah. Okay, I want to bring something up right off the bat here. F.E.A.R actually is an acronym, like you mentioned, and it's First Encounter Assault Recon. And it's been bothering me all week. So I looked up the definition of assault, which is the act of applying physical force to another person without their consent. But
and now you're on a watch list.
Yeah, but recon is finding out information most often without, engaging an enemy.
So why would you do both?
You know what? I thought that as well. This is why I've literally just gone to look it up because, I mean, first of all, F.E.A.R. as an acronym for the special forces in this game is like, okay, that's a bit on the nose, but whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it's shoot first and ask questions later, isn't it? That's literally what that's saying.
Pretty much.
The enemy's over by that dead body with my bullets in it. There's
you know what? In this country, if we had a paranormal special forces unit, it would have an acronym that is this stupid, if not dumber.
But they would probably put it through.
We have the dumbest acronyms. Ugh. Sometimes I think Congress just spends half the time, not to get political, but I think they just spend half the time trying to come up with an acronym for whatever they're fucking doing.
I have no proof of this, but I shit you not, there's probably literally a part of the government in every country that its whole job is to make acronym and operation name.
Oh, that'd be really funny if it's like this is a government agency called Acronym, and it's like
there
like,
was a movie
absolute
that did that.
crap. Yeah. The man from Uncle.
I kind of want to hear Sam do the whole word.
No, I can't even. That's too many letters. I'm not feeling that creative.
I'll tell you, if there were an in-universe like government agency specifically designed for coming up with acronyms, I mean, this guy definitely felt like he got his money's worth that day, didn't he? It's just a paranormal investigation and military sort of arm of the government, and he was just like, I'm going to call that F.E.A.R.
Yes.
And it's just like, well, good job, because that is on brand.
You did it.
You did it. Oh, good times.
Yeah, so have you guys, what is your history with this game? Have you guys played this before? I think, Brian, maybe you did, right?
Oh, I bought it day one. I was
day
on
one. Let's hear it.
I was on I just bought a new PC kick, and I was looking for something to challenge the new graphics card back in 2006, and yeah, I jumped on this. I actually bought this one on CD or DVD. I can't remember which one was at the time, probably DVD, and I had the box and all that good stuff and all the crap that came with it. Then I loaded it up on Steam, and that's where it lives now, and I don't know where the disc is anymore. But yeah, I was into first-person shooters. I liked PC gaming, and I was still not scared shitless to play scary games. So this game just checked all the boxes, and I don't know. I guess playing through it again, I think I glorified the nostalgia of this game. It's not as what I remember, so I think I might have just kind of cut the parts that annoyed me and kept the parts I loved and built this legend around.
You know what? Let's give another point to Steam, because did you say that you had a physical copy and basically like it still lives on your Steam account just based on like what the CD key?
Yeah, you were
That's
able
incredible.
at one point, like all the Half-Life games and stuff, I had the physical copies, and then when Steam came out, you were able to put the CD key in, and it would put it onto your Steam, and that's where it stays, and you don't have to have the disc anymore.
I love Steam.
Yeah. I don't know if they still do that, though. I mean,
Well,
how often do you buy a physical game?
right. I mean, that doesn't really exist anymore. It's just like like I was saying in the After Dark, like, man, Steam is something else for its staying power. They really nailed it. I also played it on Steam, but I had to search for it, and I had to search F.E.A.R.
Oh,
What does that acronym stand for?
Fuck if I know.
Not
Pretty
even close.
So when you played this originally, did it freak you out? a little bit?
Alma did. We'll get into the particular scene that I always remember.
Mm-hmm.
But that little girl that basically it's the atmospheric horror of the game, the Silent Hill-esque type anxiety-inducing moments of the game that I remember. The combat, again, playing through it, there's some really interesting things about the combat, but it kind of falls flat on hour 10.
Right.
Yeah, like
which is about halfway through.
it's got the shampoo bottle instructions of combat. It's just rinse and repeat.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Hey, wait, Alan, did you play it at the time, or was this your first time with it too? This was my first time with it.
Sure did not. Sorry, I think I've got spooky ghosts in my system because I did actually drop out there again, which was fun. So there you go, Brian.
Did you really?
More work for you.
Uh-oh.
I think Alma might actually be inside my computer right now for all the.
Oh, did you drop again with your fucking recording?
Oh yeah, sure did, buddy. Oh yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
All
right. Blame her, don't blame me. No, I didn't actually. This is a game series that I was very, very much aware of. And kind of figured I'd always get round to someday because it looked spooky and I like spooky. It's just for whatever reason I never played it, never had any experience with it. There's a slew of games like that. You know, I'm thinking these early PS3, Xbox 360 games. I kind of lump it in with things like, I don't know, Lost Planet and stuff like that. It's just games that I kind of thought, well, that kind of looks cool. Maybe I'll play it one day. But I never did until recently. And I was pretty glad that I did. You know, not to get too far into the meat of the review too early, but this did not suck. Which is a pumpkin soup kind of review there. If you know, you know.
Pumpkin soup. It's not terrible. Yeah, I had not played this before either. I wasn't really quite sure what to expect, but I really got those, I guess you would call it mid to late 2000 vibes, and I mean the aughts, like before 2010, after 25, or 2025 or 2005. I'm sorry. Those late aughts, like I played Dark Sector pretty recently, and this kind of had that feel too. Like I'd have to look if that's a Monolith game too, because like the way that the soldiers sounded was like exactly the same in Dark Sector. It's just like a little bit of clipping, you know, like the fuzziness of the, you know, and they're like swearing at each other. I like when you shoot someone and they go "fuck."
Well, not that
because that's usually my reaction too.
Not that I'd fucking know it playing this game on PS3 because the sound was awful.
And I think I mentioned that to you. Like,
oh, buddy,
I've heard that
you were not wrong.
best way to play it was the Xbox 360 because that had 720p high def graphics and made the game a little prettier.
Oh.
Then it was PC, and then they fucked up on the PlayStation with its sound, causing like it just it sound tinny or something, like just awful. I never actually looked it up.
I'll be honest, I could barely hear half of it. So
awesome. It must be their attempt at 3D audio by making sure everybody's always like 5 miles away from you.
Well, yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Even the guy who's apparently supposed to be in my earpiece.
Right.
2006 technology. They're using Nokias.
Hey,
yeah.
I bet.
Well, it's funny. There is like a dude that talks to you, and you have to like strain to hear, and then all of a sudden there's just like, "I've got a visual," is like right in your ear.
Then we had more or less the same experience then.
Yes. I played on the PC, so it wasn't. Well, you had the Xbox 360, which is supposedly the best version.
No, I played PC.
Oh, you played PC too. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Hence the entire conversation about me having it on PC.
Right. God. Oh, this is going so well. So story-wise, I mean, Brian, do you... both Alan and I have pretty much, you know, put all of our cards on the table. We have no fucking clue what's going on in this game. Do you have any idea what's going on in the story?
So my understanding of the story is that, as I scroll on a wiki here, but No, okay, I can't find it. So the story's about this guy. I can't remember his name because it's been like a week since I played it, but he's the face-eating guy you see at the beginning.
Oh, I had this a second ago. Carry on.
And
Paxton Fettel.
Paxton Fettel, yeah. So he's
that
like
dude.
this psychic guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he takes control of a battalion of like replicas, like cloned super soldiers who are like telepathically linked to him, and that plays later in the game. So under his influence, these replicas start slaughtering employees at this place called Armacham Technology Corporation, which is this company that created them. Of course, you're a point man for this awesome tactical unit called F.E.A.R, which I believe stands for now Flashlight Energy Always Recharging.
Oh my
Because-
god!
Awesome.
Perfect.
That's perfect.
Spot on, Brian.
But
Take a jammy
So-
dodger. Take a jammy dodger from the jar because you've earned it.
All right, so you basically get put down on this building, and then Paxton hits you with a board sneakily, and throughout the entire thing, this girl named Alma, who is the central character of it, she keeps appearing in these ghostly like images, and then you keep flashing back to the different scenes where like you're in a building on fire or these apparitions are coming for you. So the whole thing is you trying to discover the mystery of this while at the same time trying to beat the soldiers that Paxton is psychically commanding. Jesus Christ, that was hard to say. Yeah, and then you run through some missions there, and through the whole thing you find out the mystery of this girl Alma and your connection to her and all that stuff. So that's about the story. That's about as much as I'm going to get into without ruining it.
Sure.
Oh, that's true. I guess there would be some spoilers if we went any further. But yeah, I did find this hard to follow.
It was it was so disjointed, the story, that it almost felt like you were playing two games, the horror game and then the first person shooter.
Absolutely.
Right, yeah, it really was kind of two separate sections. And this game does the thing that a lot of games do where you've got, things that you can find that are optional that help you kind of either understand or get some additional story out of it. And like in this game, it's in the form of voicemails that you like going through this office. Yeah.
There's
this
so many of them.
office.
Who is going to be in a tactical situation where you're constantly getting into gunfights and sitting there and turning on a loud voicemail on speaker?
Yeah, true enough.
Room after room, floor after floor.
He's supposed to be either assaulting or reconning. So why is he looking at answer machines? It's like the story of this game is, I mean, I agree. It's portioned out kind of so piecemeal that there are these great big whopping long sections where you're literally just in gunfight after gunfight, and it was getting to the point where it's just like I was forgetting what had happened before. That I was, for a start, I had no idea why I was in this giant office block that went on forever. And okay, so they're after this psychic guy who's in control of effectively a clone army, and right away I'm thinking, so this company's idea was to create an army of clones for the purposes of war, obviously, and then give them over to the control of one single psychic individual. And I was just like, I can already kind of see how you're going to fuck this one up. I mean,
Isn't
wow.
Isn't that the plot of Star Wars 2, The Attack of the Clones?
I mean, yes, kind of, but they answer to many psychic individuals rather than just fucking one. It's just like, wow. It's just like, all right, just create a psychic dictator. Why not? Fucking hell. So yeah, I mean, dumb idea number one right from the off. But I don't know, clone troopers. It's just okay. Thanks for giving me a completely morally unambiguous area, so I can just shoot these things without any kind of remorse. So that was kind of fun.
Yeah, that seemed to be more of a vehicle for you to have like endless guys to shoot at.
Sure.
And it's funny
They're
because
replicants. That's why there's a million of them.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm playing BioShock and I just literally executed like 5 guards standing still praying, and it's like, desensitized now. One thing I am going to say about the combat in this game is the fact that it uses an AI, and it was kind of revolutionary for the time, and not so much anymore. But instead of the guards just rushing you, they actually tried to use tactics. They would take cover, they would get out of the way, they would announce their positions really loudly for no reason. And the idea was so that you couldn't just fall into some sort of loop where you would go in, shoot people that rushed you, then repeat in the next room. They would actually try to hide behind boxes and flank you and stuff like that. That I found really neat.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, and if you had to restart a section, they wouldn't do it the same way twice. Like, guys would be in different positions and stuff.
Yeah, because there were any number of occasions where, I'd go around a corner and there'd be a room full of these dudes, and I thought, well, if I just go and hide back down this corridor, they're bound to come looking for me, and I can just pick them off one by one. And they didn't. Like, they were quite happy to sit there and wait for me to come out into the firing line. And it's just like, well, fuck, I've got to do something about this, because otherwise I'm not going to progress. But
shotgun,
the shotgun.
The shotgun's the best.
Oh, buddy.
Nothing like turning a soldier into a fine mist.
Absolutely.
It just like completely blows them apart.
Puree.
I always I thought too, like, some of the sensitivity was just really high on some of these. Like, you just kind of like slightly peek out to try to see, what's going on, and they just immediately start shooting at you.
Yeah,
like split second. Sometimes it's just like, holy shit.
Yeah, true.
And I just played it on like normal. I can't imagine there's like 2 higher difficulties than that. So I'm sure with the higher difficulties, it's just even more ridiculous.
Definitely. I mean,
some people are monsters.
I didn't like. Yeah. I played this on normal as well, and I didn't. It wasn't like insultingly easy, but I didn't find it particularly challenging on normal. It was just kind of right, Quite forget.
Yeah,
I mean, I only
bad.
died like, I don't know, a handful of times. So yeah, it seemed like the challenge was pretty spot on.
Definitely not too bad.
The times.
Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, the times when I died would be just like if I got caught like walking around a corner and the enemy was there and had a shotgun, like turned me into mist.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I would always lose track of my health. And
how often did you guys use the bullet time just to while doing something?
Oh, I used it every fight.
I used it a ton.
But
yeah, once I realized it was there, I was
not just to win the fight,
time.
but you like do something awesome like jump and bullet time and kadoo or shotgun in the balls. I mean, missed their family's future.
If I did anything
I
cool, it was purely
time,
unintentional.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time with that bullet time just screwing around with it, and as opposed to like using it for just straight up beating the fight. And there was a couple I had to like use the bullet time, gain the advantage, but yeah, for me it was more of a gimmick.
Yeah, towards the end though, I was using it a lot too, because I was finding that there would be just kind of when you're in that facility that whatever it looks like a particle accelerator, but there would always just be like either a ton of dudes around the corner or there would just be like 1 or 2, and then they could kind of fuck you up if you weren't prepared. So there was a point where I was just using the bullet time to start looking around the corners, and then I would walk around the corner in bullet time and look around and shoot whatever I needed to, and then I would just turn it off. So it got really useful to kind of just toggle on and off at the end.
Yeah, definitely. I really liked the fact that you could just toggle it on and off. Because you had a bar, it would deplete, and then you'd run out, obviously. But, you could just chuck it on for a second, peek around the corner, go back to normal. And I kind of found myself using it more often than not, because I don't know if it's just a fact that I'm not very good at first-person shooters, which, is a well-established fact at this point, but I kind of found that everything was sort of... all the enemies were moving so fast, and I was moving so slowly, that I found gunfights without the slow motion to be a bit difficult. It was kind of like I would always end up losing all of my health and dying before I actually lined them up in the crosshairs. So I almost wonder if whether it's just I suck, or whether it was a thing that they kind of play tested the game and thought, actually the gunplay in this isn't that tight, so if we add the ability to slow things down, maybe that would just kind of level it out a bit. I wonder.
Yeah,
That
definitely something to
or
look
everything
up.
was that or everything was bullet time at the time.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, that is
That's
true. Yeah, because that's not too long after the Matrix came out.
I love the way that they explain it. It's just like, yeah, because this guy's the rookie. Because of course you're the rookie. You know, you don't even have a fucking name. You're just Point Man. And they remark early on that, you know, this guy's reflexes are off the charts in all the testing and what have you. Is just, and that's the excuse, at least at the start, for you being able to basically use bullet time.
Is that why? Because I was really looking forward to finding out what that was all
Oh,
about.
you kind of, yeah, you find out why you can use bullet time at the end. We won't. Well, maybe.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
I mean, maybe we could spoil this game like later on in the episode because it is like 20 years old at this point.
Maybe that would be good, and we could put like a quick spoiler tag on there or something because I kind of am interested to find out what happened.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll put a
played through
spoiler tag at the end. Once the flashlight runs out of battery, and that's my segue into the flashlight conversation because we gotta talk about it. That I hated this trope in video games. I think it still exists today that nobody has a flashlight that lasts more than 10 seconds.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
Right.
And it's like, Jesus Christ, pack an extra set of batteries, but every flashlight I've owned can pretty much run for a good hour or two before it even starts dimming.
Yeah,
this game.
I think that started in Half-Life, didn't it? Half-Life had a flashlight that was on a timer to kind of help build the suspense.
It's been so long I can't remember, but yeah, I was going to say this whole idea of the flashlight is to build the suspense when you're going through darker areas, but I don't know. I'm just so tired of it. Like either the flashlight's on or off, and if you want it to die, make it die like after a couple of hours, and you have to find batteries or something.
Right, and then also like, a lot of the quote unquote darkness was just like a corner that was shaded a little darker.
Yeah,
it was just like,
yeah, that was a pretty well lit game.
For the most part,
and you also knew some of the scary or spoopy stuff was coming up because you were walking into like a dark corner.
Right, yeah. And the interesting thing is like you knew that like the game would kind of hard switch gears between like the time when you're fighting the replicants and it's just a pure shooter, and then it completely does a 180 and is like, now you're gonna walk through a section that's like, it kind of felt like an on rails like Haunted Mansion type thing where it's just like you're gonna walk through and it's gonna do something kind of spooky, and then you're either gonna get back to fighting or it's gonna be the end of the level and then you're gonna be back to fighting. Either way, like
this game really could have used like a randomizer where Alma shows up and just like kills all the enemies, or Thanos snaps them because they all disappear, and that would have been something creepy. Like you're just in the middle of a firefight and all of a sudden all the guards just like disappear and you're like, what? And maybe you take some damage or something, but your super secret psychic powers save you.
Right. The other thing that didn't really bother me with the quote unquote horror parts or like the spooky parts was like, for the most part, the spooky parts don't hurt you. So it's like, oh no, shit's coming at me, but it doesn't matter. Like it's just supposed to be like jump scare and just kind of generally creepy, unsettling looking stuff, but it's just like, but it's not hurting me, so I don't care. Like I'm more scared of the replicants because they can actually hurt me.
Yeah, 90% of it is supposed to be atmospheric. I don't think in the game there's any part. Well, no, around the end, those apparitions that come out of the portals, they
right.
go,
Fuck those things.
But you're right. It's like 90% of the game's horror element is story based, and it doesn't have any challenge to it.
Right. I mean, ugh. Well, those replicants at the end really sucked because it was like I didn't understand how to, like, they just kind of put them in at the end, and so I haven't had any experience to that point in the game like really combating them at all, where they would just come out and they do a ton of damage when they hit you if you're not
like the spooky ghosts. Like the shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
once they start doing damage, it's like, oh, now they do
Yeah.
damage.
There's absolutely
Okay,
zero.
well, I just
There's
died.
absolutely zero warning because like you say, you've been walking through this entire game, and these things have been going through you for the most part. And now all of a sudden, because I was
Yep.
getting hit by something, and I sort of turned around, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And at one point, it was
Right.
Alma herself, and I was,
All of a sudden, the spooky ghosts are can do damage.
I mean, I guess it kind of makes
Yeah.
sense to ramp up the threat and the I suppose difficulty in a way, but it's kind of, well, some kind of warning would be nice. I don't have much health to begin with. Although that being said, I would say that this game, even on normal, was entirely fucking generous with the health kits. Like,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I think so,
that was
too.
a well-stocked first aid.
I never found myself running out of
Right.
health in this game. At least not through like
No.
anything other than my own stupidity. Like I wasn't keeping an eye on things. Like I had health kits. If I died, it was literally my own fault.
Yeah.
Right.
No, Sam,
Well,
sorry, you were talking about the jump scares. I just want to like bring up the one that
Oh, yeah.
sits in the back of my brain.
Oh yeah. I want to know
I
which
think
one
I know.
this is.
I think I
Yeah,
know because it
so-
did me.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not a big fan of jump scares because it's like a momentary payoff for a few seconds. But when you go on the ladder in this game, your character does a 180, then climbs down the ladder. It's like an automatic sequence. And there was one ladder, you turn around and Alma's standing right there. And it was just like such a perfect jump scare because first time I played the game, I wasn't expecting it. And then you get to the bottom of the ladder and you turn around, there's like somebody else there.
Honestly, that was genius. And you did mention to us,
Yeah.
while we were playing it, you said something about a ladder. You didn't say anything more than that. And there's a lot of ladders in this game, but yeah, and it's not even like
Yeah.
straight away because your character, he does this 180 turn, and he's sort of looking down as he turns, and then you sort of refocus up as you're going down the ladder. So you literally only get a split second, and buddy, that fucked me up. Like that did.
I don't know. I just that didn't get me that much. I was just like, oh, look at a little girl.
Well,
It's just like,
Says the father of
Continue
three
to-
little girls. You're probably used to turning around and having one
yeah, that's
standing
true. I
there.
turned around once there. It's like, oh fuck.
I mean, but Sam, you're
Right,
kind
bear
of
base.
our resident spooky guy anyway. Like you have probably the most experience with horror, and
I guess I guess it takes a bit to get me on a jump
I
scare.
think it is things like that.
because I usually anticipate it. Like this would be a good spot for a jump scare. It's like, oh,
right,
yep, there it is.
right.
Did you guys ever notice like the little details they put in the game too? Like you'd be walking by a window that you normally wouldn't look in, but if you didn't happen to turn and look through it, you'd see like a little scene of Alma killing somebody or some other type of horror thing. And it happened sporadically throughout the entire game. It's just spots you don't think of taking a look at very often. If you take the time to look left and right as you walk, you might catch one of these scenes, and they're always running, whether you see them or not. It was just a nice little.
I think I caught a few of them, and while I did find them kind of spooky, they also kind of like made me relax because whenever something spooky like that was happening, as Sam said, I knew that, well, I wasn't under threat at that point because if something spooky is going on, the game is focused on the spooky rather than the action. So I was like, oh well, okay, like I'm not gonna
Like-
get shot by anything while that's going on because.
Exactly. Yes.
But there were definitely parts of this game, particularly like those just random appearances from either ghosts or Alma, because like I'm not necessarily scared by like gore or aliens or stuff like that, but sort of very brief ghostly apparitions and things like that. Just those quick cuts and things that you don't look at long enough to realize what it is. Like one of the scariest things I've ever seen, at least in my experience, like Event Horizon. Like that film fucked me up because it's more about what you don't see than what you do
That's a good
see.
one.
You know, it's very quick
Exactly.
cuts and you're not really sure what you're looking at, and that's where the spooky little girl trope is a thing. You know, very very Ring, very Shining, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And I wasn't terrified playing this game, but it definitely, like, there was definitely an atmosphere, and I think they did really well establishing an atmosphere in this game.
Yeah, I can't remember the last scary game that made me stop wanting to progress in it.
Alien Isolation. And I know I just said I'm not afraid of
Okay.
aliens, but that was just that just fucked my nerves up. Just hiding from that bastard. Fuck you. Oh,
Oh
You know
god.
what? The first Five Nights at Freddy's gets me like to where I understand the
Oh.
concept of you're just sitting in that room and you have to just kind of fiddle with the buttons and stuff. And again, you're on like a battery that ticks down, but like, man, those jump scares are just, and it builds the tension, even though I know it's just like something silly. Like it's still like that jump scare will get me like to
Uh,
the point where like I play a couple of rounds of that. I'm like, I'm done. I can't.
that's
yeah, you just reminded me of the game. It's Bendy and the Ink Machine.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
Is that one creepy?
Oh my god, has a great atmosphere, mostly because it uses like a yellow and black ink type of like aesthetic.
Ugh.
But
Like
there's
sepia tone.
yeah, there's jump scares throughout the game, and they're just little things that like pop out there and give you like a little oh my god, and then you just carry on. But there's also things like
Yep.
you look through a window and all these stand-ups are staring at you, then you go into the door and they're gone, or they're facing the other way, and it's just like, okay, what the fuck's going on? And it keeps doing that over and over, and eventually a monster chases you, like an ink monster chases you. And yeah, that game, I had a hard time like pushing through that game near the end. I was just like, nerves were
And if anyone is interested in hearing
loved
about
it,
that
though.
game, Brian's actually got an episode of it for a quick play in the Patreon archives.
Yeah, it's the whole reason I
Got
played
to
the
get a
game.
quick plug in there
I was
somewhere.
like, I gotta finish it. I was like, I gotta finish this game, but I'm scared.
Yeah.
But this game didn't do that to me. Not this time. Even that, like I said, I think I built the legend of this game in my mind just simply because I enjoyed
Yeah.
it the first time, and this time, not as much. Definitely not something you can play twice. I already knew the story, so it wasn't like I was getting any big plot points revealed to me. Awe-inspiring moment.
I can definitely see like how this
See-
is a horror game. You know, I have played games before that have scared me more. You know, Silent Hill comes to mind, obviously, but you know, this maybe we're desensitized, but you know, I could see that the atmosphere that they've created in this game, like maybe giving a few people the willies, as it were.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say this game is like I don't know. It's like it's a shooter with just a bit of like spooky flavor to it, where it's like, you know, this is kind of a dip your toe in to see if you're comfortable with the spooky stuff, but mostly it's going to be a shooter. And you know, it's like if you can play Fear and enjoy it and not get too freaked out by the spooky parts, maybe you could try a different, you know, more spooky game than this, cuz like the enemies themselves that you actually fight are not, you know, like your Silent Hill mannequins or, you know, something that's completely creepy looking. It's just a bunch of
That's-
dudes in special forces
That is
gear.
actually
Yeah.
an excellent point. An excellent point. You know, there were times when I was playing this that I thought I kind of felt like I was playing more Perfect Dark than a horror game, especially in those offices with the
Right.
faceless henchmen.
Yeah.
You haven't even got a name tag, and yeah, and all the machinery and the technology and stuff like that. Why don't you just lay down? It's a good shooter. You know, there are things about the movement that I didn't particularly enjoy. Now, I'm never a fan of the kind of realistic head bob in a first person shooter game, and this game really was a bit sort of every footstep was represented, and that took me a while to get used to at first.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's not bad as FPSs go.
It
Yeah, I definitely got used to it.
Yeah, it's fun for its mechanics, like the bullet time and the enemy AI. It really does up the game, especially in 2006 for first-person shooters. I don't even notice the head bob anymore. I guess I've played games like this enough that maybe I just bob along with it. Kind of like when I play racing games, I lean into the corners even though I'm sitting on the.
Oh, that's you have to.
Right.
Right. Never
Yeah,
never mind the
absolutely.
D-pad. If you were playing a Ridge Racer without leaning, then you weren't playing it right.
Does
I
this
used to
do games like this give you guys motion sickness at this point now in your like as I get older, like this used to never bother me, but now like I was playing it a couple times. I had to like even though I wanted to keep playing because I was progressing, like I had to stop because I was like, I'm gonna get sick.
Oddly enough, no. I have a ultra wide monitor that I play on. Like I'm playing BioShock on this, and I posted some of the pictures in Discord of what I actually see, and they're the ultra wide pictures. And I think I've gotten used to it enough that I don't get the like sickness. I used to get it like I do with VR because the screen would encompass my entire field of vision, but
Yeah.
I think I've finally grown out of that because I have no problem anymore.
Yeah, I can kind
Interesting.
of appreciate why that might be a thing, though, because I mean, this is hardly the crispest of games visually. You know, there is a lot of motion blur, which I think is kind of a mask for.
Bad graphics.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to sort of go both barrels on that one, but yeah, I mean, when I first started playing this game, I was just thinking, well, this kind of looks like a PS2 game and not necessarily one of the good ones. Um, I was definitely surprised. I mean, I don't think it's a bad looking game per se, but for a PS3 game, I don't think it's necessarily as good as it should be, which may not be a fair judgment. But I'm thinking, you know, I'm pretty sure like Resident Evil 4 existed at this point, and I know it's a Capcom game and they've got the budget and all the rest of it, but just I think they used a lot of those tricks that they usually use when they know a game doesn't look as good as they want it to. A lot of the lighting and the motion blur and stuff like that.
So, to be fair to this game,
To be fair,
it was released in 2005 on the PC, ported to Xbox in 2006, and then 2007, like not even 6 months after the PS3 released, it was ported onto this. So it probably looks like PS2 graphics because they didn't want to redo all the graphics.
yeah, maybe. And it probably does look better on like PC and all the rest of it. Like I said, I was playing the PS3 version, and if that is notorious for being like the lesser of the three, then maybe that's just an issue solely with that system. So
Well, PS3 was notoriously hard to program on, so porting games over wasn't as simple as reformatting it. They actually had to do a bunch of tweaks to chip structure inside of the PS3.
that is true.
I imagine at that point, people were still trying to get used to it, so a lot of games probably suffered early on in the PS3 that weren't made by first-party studios.
That's a fair point. That is a fair. I will withdraw my judgment, but I still have it.
Oh, I'm bringing
fair.
a counterpoint. I'm not trying to poo-poo on your...
You make an excellent point. I mean, yes, the PS3 is notorious for developing on. It's why so many of those games are still stuck on PS3 and haven't made the jump to any other systems. It's why I had to buy a PS3 just to play Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah, it's
a fucking great game. Oh, probably my favorite in the series. Come at me.
No, well, come on.
Hey-o.
Speaking of, what was your weapon loadout? Speaking of loads, what was your
That
weapon
was
loadout?
so good.
Did you have I had 3 that I carried with me for most of the game, but I'm curious to know what you guys preferred.
Double pistol, shotgun, and whatever the hell else I could find.
Double pistol. That's interesting.
The pistols, really?
Wow. Double pistol, no less.
Ugh.
I'm a sucker for going akimbo.
You were literally playing the Matrix, weren't you? Like bullet time, double
Yes.
pistols.
Right.
Like, he was just pissed he couldn't
Yeah.
run up the wall.
You're starting to see what was going on during my.
Were you
playthrough.
playing this in sunglasses, Brian?
Yes, and a trench
Nice.
coat.
That was literally it. Nothing else. No, I feel like I kind of got a good amount of experience with most of the weapons in this game, but by and large, like if I find now, for me, a first-person shooter will always sort of rise or fall on the quality of its shotgun, and as we've discussed, the shotgun in this game absolutely fucks. Like the first time I used that thing, I was just like,
Yes.
wow, you know, it literally just turned somebody into a cloud. And so I kept a shotgun with me for most of the game. Another one of my slots was probably taken up by whatever automatic weapon that I could get my hands on at the time. There was that it's kind of like I guess it's kind of like a sniper rifle, but fires a beam. I guess it's like some sort of rail gun, and
Yes,
that was again,
it's like a plasma
yeah,
gun.
and that
Yeah.
was another pink mystifier, and that was pretty awesome.
Did you see the bodies after you shot with that? It was like they just kind of turned into like a charred
Yeah,
skeleton.
yeah, and you know the wall
Yeah,
behind them was
that was
just a
cool.
fucking mess.
Yes.
Really enjoyed that one. But yeah, so as I told you about this, Sam, but the PS3 actually got its own unique weapon, which was the Watson, which was the
Yeah.
automatic shotgun, which I found. I think that was like in interval 8 or 9 or something like that, and I think it was called the Watson. But yeah, an automatic shotgun. So it was like the shotgun that I loved so much, except it was automatic, so I never had to stop fucking firing. It was brilliant.
We might have gotten that too. It just I didn't realize it was called a Watson. I'm trying to look this up and see if I can find it on like a wiki page.
Well, I mean, when I looked it up, it seemed to imply it
Uh
was unique to the PS3 version, but
I I think it actually is. I
Yeah.
like the giant shotgun thing that is in the PC version, and I'm assuming the 360 version too, is the repeating
oh
cannon.
yeah, they had that too.
It was like yeah, that was the one. Like I was using that and actually realizing that I think the concussion from the repeating cannon can hurt you if you're kind of in close
Ah,
quarters. You have to be careful with it,
yeah.
because I would end up like doing fine in combat, but then dying because I think I was like actually hurting myself, because you'd hear that like ears ringing
Right.
sound.
Oh, is that what that was? Yeah, I thought that was a neat touch. Like whenever a
Yeah,
grenade went off or something like that, you know, you would get that ringing in the ears.
right,
That was a nice touch. That was pretty cool. But yeah,
right. And I was just like, oh, I think I better put this down because I think I'm hurting myself more than the enemies
I think I
here.
pretty much only used that towards the end with those phantoms that we were talking about earlier on, because it was kind of useful for the, I guess, kind of area of effect. You could usually take out a couple of them
Yeah, I
per
mean,
shot.
and I would use them on those like kind of mech type deals. I guess I don't even know what you'd call them, but they were like
Oh,
these like super armored soldiers
yeah. The kind of the
that
big
would
daddies of this game.
yeah, kind of. I mean, they weren't too bad, because if you activated the bullet time and you had the right weapons loadout, you could take care of one pretty quickly.
I found the rocket
That first one is
sure.
tough though.
I found the rocket launcher pretty good for those guys.
I had
Yeah,
a
but it
problem with
runs
the
out
rocket
quick.
launcher. I kept
Yeah.
hitting like a column or a desk or something like that, and I would blow myself up, and I stopped using it on that. Like I just could not aim that thing for light.
Oh no, that's where I was just pouring on the bullet time, because, and you know,
Yep.
if I was in an enclosed space like that, then it was usually something like, because what was that other rifle, the one that was like an armor piercing thing? That was pretty useful.
Yeah, I liked that gun too. That one I actually dropped in favor of the plasma
Yeah,
gun at
same.
one point. But for a while it was really awesome. It was like, I can't remember what it was called, but it had like this very quiet fire, and it was like pew pew pew, and it's like, oh, I know that whatever that's hitting. Like I don't know how they did it. Like the sound effects, I'll give this game some credit in the sound effects department when it comes to like guns firing or like things hitting stuff, like those types of like environmental and I don't know, I guess like weapon sound effects sounded pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Like it was very satisfying to shoot with the armor piercing bullets and like feel like, oh, whatever I'm shooting is definitely like going through metal.
yeah. 100%. Yeah, I mean, it did definitely have some good sound work. It's just a lot of the stuff that I needed to understand what was going on was just getting lost in the mix there. You know, for example, I really enjoyed when you came sort of either into or out of bullet time. You got that kind of Doppler effect with the sound, where like if somebody was shouting midway through, you could hear the transition into like normal speed, which is another really cool little twist there. But I don't know, it's just anyone who was they just could not get the levels right with anyone who was talking. Like that dude who was whoever my supervisor or whatever the fuck that guy was, like not a fucking clue what he was talking about. I had no idea half the time why I was on this mission, what I was doing, and who I was looking for. I'm sure he explained who the girl was that we had to find, and not the little girl, but the blonde chick. And even now I have no idea who she was.
Speaking of blonde chicks, how about that fat red ginger?
Oh, that dude.
Again.
And I can say that because he's one of my...
One of your people.
He's the Dennis Nedry of this game.
Yes. Oh my god, yes.
From Jurassic Park. Yeah, he just exists to fuck with you and somehow stays a beat ahead of you at all times somehow. Like you're this special forces operative and he's like, "Oh, I'm just one step ahead of you."
But can anyone tell me why?
Norton Mapes.
Because I have no idea what he was doing or why he was there or what was his whole deal.
He was a survivor from the attack and he was trying to get himself out while eating those cheesy poofs.
Cheesy poofs.
Yeah, he... what is it? He helps you by opening stuff. I don't know why he was near the end of the game, though. I just kind of glossed by him. But he's arrogant, annoying jackass.
Yeah, I think...
He's the reason why the office needed all the soda machines.
Oh my god. So
he's just
many.
made to be unlikable, and they nailed it.
Yeah. I mean, I know I didn't like him, I just didn't know why he was fucking with me so much. Because he basically turns the whole place against you at one point. You get that section with all the turrets, which is like...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, nice to have a new little wrinkle.
He's a selfish, incompetent boob.
And he's a selfish, incompetent boob. Well, he was pretty fucking competent at like keeping me from getting where I needed to go.
Yeah. I like shows like Game of Thrones and stuff like that have characters with actors so good that you hate them. Like, I'm all hats off. If I hate you as a character, it's because your acting is so good that you make me believe you're that hateable. And this guy was that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
I would say I want to choke him, but you can't get your hands around the fucking chins.
he's a proper caricature, isn't he?
Oh, and the worst part about him, I was watching him run, and he runs like every other character, even though he should be like waddling like Grimace.
Yeah, there's always that. I mean, I'm thinking of Silent Hill too. Also, that guy that you encounter. I can't remember what his name is, but like you have to fight him.
Oh, fucking
at one
Eddie.
Point. Eddie, yeah, and it's just like, why is he all of a sudden just like this special forces? Like he can move faster than you. He has like pinpoint accuracy.
That guy was crazy.
He's like a freaking. I know, like the same with this dude. Like, how is this guy staying ahead of me and doing all the shit that he's doing? I don't know. I don't find that believable necessarily. It just always bothers me.
No, I'd have to say, like, as well, his character design did sort of take me out just a little bit. Where everything else had been
Yeah, he was a little bit too caricature.
A little bit too cartoonish.
Right.
Where everything else is kind of so realistic and so dark and grimy and all the rest of it. He just kind of stuck out, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of did.
Not a deal breaker, but just it was like, okay, so it's an odd choice. It's an odd choice. Where do we go from here?
Yeah, I don't know. I just maybe it's time to just kind of talk a little bit more in depth on the story, because I think the only other thing we didn't talk about were enemies that weren't these replicant soldiers. Like there were different types of soldiers. There was another faction that kind of seemed like they were kind of in the mix, like these kind of regular looking dudes.
Well, I think that was
just were like kind of in army fatigues.
I think that was the security company for that Armacham corporation.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because those guys were very competent.
Wow.
Because they're not psychic
those sections
soldiers.
were tough. Yeah, those guys were tough.
They were. I mean, they're defending a weapons corporation, so it's just like, yeah, they definitely picked the right stuff.
Yeah. You're not hiring the B team for that one.
Right. And then there were those like I guess like invisible soldiers. Those
Oh
were
my
kind of
god, I'd
strange.
forgotten about those. I hated those things. I don't know what it was. Like those
Yeah.
things got me rattled so much that when they started appearing, I completely forgot the fact that I had bullet time. So I was trying to fight these things like A, sight
Yes.
unseen, and B, at regular speed. And when I clocked, oh, hang on, I can just slow these fuckers down. And, you kind of see the shimmer.
Yeah.
So you can track them pretty easily. And I was just like, I am making this so much harder for myself than I have to. What am I doing?
Yeah, that's why I was happy to be playing on the PC cuz I think the control button on the PC was like the bullet time button and then it used the like the WASD control scheme with the mouse. So it was like I had my right hand on the mouse, left hand was on the WASD controls, and then my pinky was over on the control button. And so like I was just ready with that bullet time. Every time I saw that shimmer, I was just like hit the button, slow it down, and it like kind of leaps out at you, and then I had my shotgun ready. So once I figured out what was going on, because the first couple times they jumped out, I didn't even
Yeah.
see them. And it was like, oh, like my health is going down by like a third every time. And like the screen would kind of turn red for a second. And it was like, shit, what is happening here?
I
So those were
remapped.
tough at first.
Yeah, I remapped my controller, like the controls to the buttons I use. Crouch is always my back button on my mouse, and then in this case, the bullet time was the forward button. The way my thumb was always on it.
Ah.
What do you shoot with?
The
Oh, forward, back.
Yeah, not the left and right and center mouse button. The forward and back on my. When you're on the internet, there you never hit the back button on the browser. You always have your mouse with the back button.
You
Just me?
fucking
Yeah, I get it.
nerds.
Uh,
I was playing.
Well, I'm
I
using a
was playing with a
Logitech.
control pad, and it was wonderful.
See, I'm much better on first-person shooters with the mouse and keyboard. I'm classically trained.
Classically
Yeah.
trained.
I did enjoy playing it that way. That it was a much better. I don't think I would have enjoyed this as much on a console. I'll say that. But yeah, there were those invisible dudes. Those kind of sucked. Then there were those like floating drone type things that would kind of shoot little lasers at you.
Yeah.
Um,
Nip.
those weren't
They were
too
nippy.
bad.
They
Again,
would
like,
get out of the way easy enough, but they didn't have a ton of health, so pretty manageable.
right. Yeah. If you could get them square with the shotgun, you could take care of it in 2 or 3 blasts. What was the other? There was yeah, and then I guess there were those kind of just mechanized or armored things, and it was like, yeah, that's those can fuck up your day, but if you've got the right weapon and and you kind of react to it in time, where you use your bullet time, you get the right weapon out, and you just kind of wail on it, it's usually
Yeah,
okay.
duck and cover, recharge your bullet time, go again.
Right.
Pretty
So,
manageable.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to mention those, especially those invisible things. Like any game with like invisible enemies like that. Like I'm just glad they didn't overuse it because it would have.
I
made
was
it not
gonna say because they
enjoyable.
kind of turn up once and then they kind of just disappear until the end of the game again. I was just like, I'm so glad because as soon as I fought the first wave, I was like, oh fuck, please don't make these guys a thing. And to their credit, they
Yes.
didn't. They were used very sparingly, and I
Yeah.
appreciated that.
Yeah, that was pretty nice. I do appreciate that as well. It's just like if it was just this until the end of the game, I think I would not be too pleased with it.
Absolutely. So should we talk about
All right,
story then?
yeah.
Should we we're going into spoiler territory now, guys. So you know what to do. Listen or don't. Oh, no, I was just setting you up. Yeah, I was just
That's
setting
right.
Sam up there. Sorry.
Listen
Just
or
lays
don't.
it up.
Yeah, no, I'm not listening. No,
La, la, la,
Brian,
la, la,
we're gonna have to lean on you for this because who the fuck? What was it? What is the little girl's name again?
Alma.
I can't even remember at this point. Alma, and then
Yeah.
there's like a younger. Is the younger Alma and the older crazy lady that you end up facing off with
Alma-
kind of
okay.
towards the end? Are they the
So-
same? Like I don't know.
Alma's this experiment that this Armatech company has, or whatever they're called, and they've locked her away. But throughout the game, she's so psychically powerful that you're actually seeing her projections throughout the game. That's why you keep seeing her appear and she never hurts you. But also, you and Paxton are her children in a sense. They actually bred her and then had two children. Of course, Paxton turns into a face-eating psychic monster, and you end up being a recruit for some nameless government organization.
Which is why you have the reflexes.
Which is why you have the reflexes and bullet time and stuff like that. So that's the whole payoff of the entire story there. And yeah, it's I don't know, like I don't mind it, but at the same time, it wasn't like the most shocking reveal. I wasn't like, oh my god, I, the psychic powered super soldier, am also a clone of Alma, just like Paxton was revealed to be. But there is one part I like is when you do kill Paxton, all the psychic soldiers just stand there.
Yeah, that was neat.
The link is broken. Yeah. I was really like, that was just chef's kiss. Like, put a little bit of extra effort into the story by proving that once the link is dead, the soldiers are useless.
I think they mentioned fairly early on in the game, because, you know, you kind of get that Paxton is Alma's son. And I think they referenced that she had another child earlier on in the game. And at that point, you're just like, well, okay. I mean, I wonder who that could be. So, yeah, you're right. It wasn't a particularly huge surprise. But I don't know. I couldn't ever really figure out. I guess when you said like she was that powerful, they had to lock her away. It's just like, yeah, it's kind of falling into place now. Because I was just like, what were they actually doing with her? Like they've just kept her locked away for however, like 8 years or something stupid like that. Yeah. And I was just like,
and they were experimenting.
I guess on her. So. And it's like, okay, what was your end game with her? Because I get that you're using her children to.
Well, the whole concept was these psychic soldiers were supposed to be controlled by her, not Paxton. Okay. And the whole idea was they would build an army and then she would be the, I guess, central weapon of this army with her psychic powers, controlling all these soldiers from her little chamber. But she was too powerful, hence why they made the Point Man and Paxton.
Right. Okay, so they decided she could not be trusted to lead this army, so they gave the army to Paxton, who turned out to be absolutely clinically fucking insane. I mean, it's not surprising that she kind of wanted revenge. She's had her children ripped from her and then stuffed back in a fucking tube somewhere underground. It's
Oh, and she's also dead by the time you find her, but she's just so psychically strong that, you know, residual psychic powers, I guess, live on.
No kidding. I didn't know that. She's actually...
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so when did she die?
Just before the game, they deemed her too powerful, what I'm reading here. Yeah. They deemed Alma too dangerous and terminated her physical body, sealing the remains in a vault beneath the Armacham facility where you find her. But her psychic essence survived, becoming a vengeful ghost driven by hatred for those who imprisoned her.
Oh, so she is literally a ghost girl. A powerfully psychic poltergeist. Oh, that is fucking awesome. And I'm probably not the only person who has thought this. This is probably like such an obvious revelation that everyone but me already knows this. But I mean, is that not the reason for the choice of her name? Like Alma Mater, Alma Mother, Nourishing Mother.
I don't know, but maybe
because that's
maybe just because
that's a phrase you guys use, right?
Maybe just because it sounds like a creepy name.
Yeah,
like Alma Mater.
I think
she was the mother all along.
It's like I think that's probably like most things are intentional in these games story wise. So I would have to imagine that that was the intent.
So
yeah, makes
Alma
sense.
is a Latin-derived name meaning soul, nurturing, or kind. From the Latin phrase alma mater, nourishing mother. So yeah, but it's not confirmed.
Okay.
So it's fan theory that's why she was named that. Monolith never confirmed.
Okay. So I'm not completely fucking stupid for having like.
No, that's a good observation, actually.
Yeah, that was a really good observation.
Awesome.
You get
A
what do they
jammy
call it?
dodger. A
Jelly
jammy
belly?
dodger from the
Jammy Dodger.
Retrotopia
Jammy Dodger.
Retrotopia jar
Yep.
of biscuits. Or cookies if you prefer. But there we are. And
But just don't call them chips.
so basically you go down into this
I'm
into this fucking lab and blow it up and rush back to the surface, and then everything explodes and you escape on a helicopter, and then you get the final jump scare, which I thought was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was they're in the
Yeah.
epilogue.
I don't know. I thought
That was good.
I enjoyed, I guess, in so much as I understood them, the revelations at the end of the game. But it's just like I kind of found like that last section was kind of a bit of nothing. You know, no real boss fights per se. Just kind of, I was like, oh, is that it? I don't.
And that's where the game feels like you're playing two different games.
Sure.
Because like pretty much the military combat's over. Now you're in a paranormal battle game. It just,
Well, this
I
is
don't
where the fact that they've not been able to mesh these two separate ideas together really comes to a head, because when it all comes together at the end of the
Yeah.
game, the game kind of doesn't really know how to treat it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason Alma couldn't have taken over the psychic soldiers.
I mean, yeah, that's
Even ramped up their power a little bit or some shit like that, but instead they went with the apparitions coming out of the portals, and it was just like a really missed opportunity to link the two paths.
That's
together.
true. Just a final boss fight with Alma just controlling all of these soldiers, just sending wave after you, and you have to clear them out and then take a few shots at her and then clear them out. And yeah, that could have been pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess maybe what were those apparitions supposed to be? Were they just like souls that were vengeful, or like was it something where, like, are they all
They're
the
just
You know
they're
when
just
you're
spooky
in-
ghosts,
you know when
Sharon.
you're in the
that I
Just
sent to
spooky
hell?
ghosts.
No, you know when
Spooky
you're in the
ghost
shower
shower.
and you do that imaginary fight? That's what results from that imaginary fight in the shower.
Who are you fighting in the shower?
Everybody.
fight in the shower?
You guys never done that? You get into an argument or you have a bad day and you go in the shower and you start, what would somebody call it? The imaginary argument chamber. So you sit there and you just start going through that whole situation again, and then you start building how you would have dealt with it and how you expected them to respond, and it just becomes like just a way to compartmentalize the whole thing. But yeah, it's
Well,
just,
no, but now I've just got the mental image of you just completely starkers throwing kicks and punches in your shower.
well, no, you're not throwing kicks and punches.
you are
You're
in
just
my
sitting there
mind, buddy.
thinking about it.
You are in my mind.
No, I'm just swinging around and knocking the shampoo bottle off with my monster dong.
Jesus.
He wouldn't stop until I told him about my penis.
Uh, all right. Well, have you guys have you got anything left to say about this game?
No,
I thought the
no.
music was very, very
Just to
good.
wrap up.
I enjoyed the music. I thought it was great.
So, Brian, are you glad that you got a chance to spend some more time with it again?
Yeah, but it'll probably be one of the last times I play it. I just didn't enjoy it as much as I did the first time. Like I said it multiple times now, I built it up in my brain and it just didn't live up to my own hype. Not that it's a
you
bad
did build
game.
up the scares quite a bit. I was like, this isn't as scary as I think Brian thought.
Like Alan said, you are the resident horror game fan, so I mean,
I guess.
probably
I
takes a
don't
lot
know.
more to scare you than me. I'm a fucking well-known coward.
All right.
I saw my shadow
Well-
fucking hid for 3 days.
In the shower.
Yeah,
In the shower, that's right.
knocking shampoo bottles over.
Oh, should we have our final thoughts then before this goes even further off the rails?
Yeah, I think we should. Who wants to go first? I'll go last. How
No
about that?
worries. Well, I'll start because I've zero experience with this game. I just got to compose myself here. I actually quite enjoyed my time with this game. I'm not going to lie. Like I feel like I maybe cheated myself out of this by not playing it when it came out. I mean, I didn't have a PS3 at the time, but I could have played it on Xbox 360 and probably had a better time with it by all accounts. It's exactly the kind of spooky kind of horror game that I would have really enjoyed back then. I mean, it's no secret I'm a huge Resident Evil Silent Hill fan, and this this kind of thing was all the rage back then. Kind of edgy, spooky, kind of reminds me of The Darkness a little bit, which is another game I really enjoyed playing back in the day. Um, I mean, the gunplay is fine. Maybe a little bit simplistic, but I kind of like that because, again, I'm not the best at FPSs. So I thought the scenery was very, very nice as well. You know, the graphics maybe could have been better for like the PS3. Um, Honestly, I'm doing my best here, guys, but fucking hell, Brian just absolutely blindsided me. Um,
I won't turn around like
please
that
don't.
again.
I'm blind. The music and the atmosphere was incredibly well crafted in this game. I just think that it suffered from certain issues with the sound, much like I'm having myself tonight, that just made it very difficult to follow the story. And the story, I do think, is pretty good. You know, nothing earth shattering. A lot of the surprises and the twists and turns are telegraphed fairly early on, and it's nothing we really haven't seen before. You know, I loved all the bullet time and the weapons and all of that. All of that good stuff that you expect from an FPS are there, and they work, and they're very, very enjoyable. Um, I don't know. Playing it in 2025 is maybe not the experience that I had necessarily hoped it would be. Um, I am very interested though in playing, because there are like two more of these. Is it just two?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and there's I think there's one that's based off of the first game that's just
okay, because I'd heard there were like expansions to this game, but I don't think they're canon, so I'm not too worried about playing those. But I am definitely interested in playing 2 and 3, because this is a decent game, and if they just iron out some of the creases, which I'm assuming that they have done with the sequels there, then I'm probably going to enjoy those even more. So I am definitely going to pick those up one day and give them a go. I know. I think I'm going to probably land around about 7.5, maybe. Like it's a perfectly serviceable game. I may even play it again one day. Decent.
just don't build it up in your mind.
No, and you know, like it definitely had its moments. You know, it like Sam said, it wasn't the scariest game I've ever played, but it had enough to qualify it as a quality little Halloween game. And that's all I have to say about that.
But
Yeah,
I'm
pretty
glad
good.
you're able to make it through.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I
Brian,
guess
how
I'll
about
go
you?
next. Yeah, I'll go next
Yeah.
then. I like, yeah, glorification of this game aside, my own mind. Alan's right. It's a very solid shooter. It has really good AI. Like, I mean, I guess maybe we take it for granted nowadays, but yeah, the AI at this time, running and taking cover and trying to, figure out tactics was really good. The bullet time was a lot of fun. I always love bullet time in video games. Like Max Payne, I die for the bullet time in that. Um, I mentioned the flashlight. It's kind of dumb that it's a 10-second battery, then you have to wait for it to self charge. Like the one of those shaking flashlights there, where you look like you're jerking off in the middle of the office so that you can recharge the battery. I can't think of any game that uses it currently, like any newer game. But God, that was such a bad time for flashlights. The one thing about the combat is I did find it getting a bit repetitive by the end. Even with the little bit of variety in the enemies, it was still run from point A to point B, shoot the enemies, run from point B to point C, shoot the enemies, and carry on forward. And it didn't help that the moments where they would use the atmospheric scenery from Alma's psychic powers, causing shit happening, it still felt disjointed from that. So it was just, like I said earlier, two stories being told at the same time at the same location, and there was no payoff of them connecting at the end. Like, I get there was a big reveal that, oh, you're her son, but I really would have liked to see all those soldiers that you were fighting get taken over by Alma. It's just how I feel. Does it really change the game that much? No. But yeah, my final point would be, I just think little girls in horror games are fucking probably one of the scariest tropes in horror.
Agreed.
I don't know why little girls are so freaking freaky when they're in stuff. Like, yeah, it scares the shit out of me. But I'm going to agree with Alan on this one. I'm going to go with solid 7.5. Solid shooter, definitely worth playing if you want to play a retro shooter. It's not going to break any molds compared to any game today, but at the time it broke some, created some definitely reused mechanics and stuff like that. And I forgot to mention, yes, the sound was absolutely fantastic in this game. That's it.
Nice. Very good.
Nice. Did you give it a score?
Yeah, 7.5.
7.5. Okay, sorry, I missed that part. All right. Yeah, I don't think I have too much to add. Like, I was surprised that it didn't lean in as much on the horror as it did being a shooter. So, actually, some of the horror elements were kind of fun because you knew you could kind of just put it back in autopilot and just kind of watch. You know, it was almost like a cinematic, even though there were, you know, definitely sections where you're moving through areas that I guess Alma or whatever has clearly been through to kind of fuck shit up. You know, the combat I got used to as I went along and actually found myself enjoying it, but I don't think I enjoyed it because this game did it particularly well. I think I just happened to enjoy it. So I can't give the game credit for like being this innovative first person shooter and, you know, introducing bullet time and all that kind of stuff. Like the weapons are pretty standard, the combat is pretty standard. The story is convoluted. Very linear. I appreciated that it was linear, even though there were some puzzle elements to figure out through some of these. And the nice thing is that it also separated those sections where you have to like get through an area and try to figure your way out, you know, whether it's crawling through vents or, you know, turning off a gas leak with flames or whatever to try to get through something or, you know, to get around some sort of, you know, crawling through sewers or whatever. Like that kind of stuff is kind of fun. And I like that they separated it along with kind of like the horror sections. You know, you weren't trying to do all this stuff and getting shot at. So I guess I appreciated that. Yeah, I don't know. I think I've said about as much as I can. I think it's a perfectly serviceable game, but it's not like changing the world. And I don't think it was particularly unique at the time. Because like I said, even Dark Sector kind of felt like this game, even though Dark Sector is a third person and there's a little bit of kind of more sci-fi elements to it. Although this game has sci-fi elements too, I shouldn't say that. Whatever. It definitely has a vibe. That's what I'm trying to say. If I had to give this a score out of 10, I think I would give it like it's a 6. It's like it's a solid game and I enjoyed playing it, but I mean, it's fine. It's a 6. And it's not 6 and it's a bad 6. It's like a good 6. Like it was
good
fine.
Homemade pumpkin soup.
Right, exactly. So, I don't know. Nothing left to say here. I think we could probably get on out of here. I think everyone deserves a good Jammy Dodger from the jar for listening to this episode.
Absolutely.
Jammy Dodgers all around.
And a happy Halloween to everyone who celebrates from all of us at Retrotopia.
That's right.
And may you win all of your shower fights.